Good evening, everybody. This is Monday, March 2nd, 2026. This is the Kearney Board of Aldermen meeting. Call the meeting to order. Please stand for the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance
to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
So any of you had a chance to take roll?
I have taken roll. Jerry Spencer is absent this evening, but we have a quorum.
All right, thank you. We'll move on to public hearings. The first item this evening is a public hearing to receive public comments regarding a project pursuant to the K353 Redevelopment Corporation redevelopment plan, along with a written statement of the impact and ad valorem taxes that such abatement or exemption will have on such political subdivisions rather. So if you wish to speak for or against the proposed K353 redevelopment plan, we'll have you come forward to the podium, state your name and address for the record. The floor is open for public comments. Seeing nobody move, I will close the floor for public comments on that item. Next item this evening is a public hearing to receive public comments, answer any questions, and provide a status of the city's MS4 program. If you wish to speak for or against, or have any public comments regarding the city's MS4 program, have you come forward to the podium, state your name and address for the record. Floor is open for open comment. See nobody move, we will close. Are there any members of the Kearney community that would wish to address their board under open public comments this evening? We'll move on to the next item on the agenda. Does anybody on the board have any questions or items of discussion on the consent agenda this evening? Seeing none, if we can entertain a motion to approve the consent agenda as presented.
So moved.
I'll second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Consent agenda passes. First item under ordinances this evening is a motion approving bill number 14, 2026, presented by Carolyn Yatsik, our Economic Development Director, an ordinance approving a redevelopment project at 211 East Washington Street for Dustin and Lori Hampton under the K353 Redevelopment Corporation redevelopment plan and approving an abatement agreement for the project. Carolyn?
Thank you, Mayor, and good evening, Board. Before you this evening is an ordinance and abatement agreement authorizing tax abatement for a project located within the city's K353 redevelopment area. Notice of the public hearing was provided in accordance with state statute. The applicants, Lori and Dustin Hampton, are present this evening. Their project represents a $512,000 capital investment for the construction of a new single-family home at 211 East Washington Street. All required application materials are included in your packet, including a rendering on page 43, which complements the existing architectural character of the redevelopment area, which is also known as original Kearney. With the capital investment of $512,000, the project qualifies as Level B market stimulating investment under the policy, provides for a 12-year abatement term. Tax impact analysis, which is found on page 50, estimates the total abatement at $82,598. The K353 Board approved Resolution 2026-1 on February 3rd, recommending approval of the abatement to the Board of Aldermen. I'm happy to answer any questions.
Thank you for that update and report. Anybody on the board have any questions for staff on her report or the project application?
The only thing I'd add to it was on the board, there was lots of excitement about the project because the lot's been vacant for a long time. And Dustin and Lori are going to bring it back on tax rolls and I was just talking to them, the house that they're getting ready to build is gonna be a huge addition to downtown Kearney. So it's nice to see this happening. We were excited to see it come before our board.
Thank you, Alderman Lehman, for, you are our president of that board, so thank you for your input there as well. If there are no other questions from the board, if we could read the proposed ordinance on the first reading by title only, please.
An ordinance approving a redevelopment project at 211 East Washington Street for Dustin and Lori Hampton, a married couple, under the K353 Redevelopment Corporation redevelopment plan and approving an abatement agreement for the project.
Move to approve on first reading.
I'll second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Oppose? Second reading by title only, please.
An ordinance approving a redevelopment project at 211 East Washington Street for Dustin and Lori Hampton, a married couple, under the K353 Redevelopment Corporation redevelopment plan and approving an abatement agreement for the project.
Make a motion to approve on second read.
I'll second.
Pull the board, please.
Alderman King,
Aye.
Alderman Lehman,
Aye.
Alderman Holt.
Aye.
The vote is unanimous and the ordinance is approved. Congratulations, guys, and we're excited to see your project in downtown Kearney. Thank you.
Now, would we approve that if they weren't a married couple?
Married couple, I was like,
Yeah, married couple.
Next item is a motion approving bill number 15, 2026, presented by Mark Thomas, our police chief, an ordinance approving the interlocal cooperation agreement for the Clay County Sheriff's Office Special Tactics and Response Team by and between the city of Kearney, Missouri, and the Clay County Sheriff's Office. Chief?
Thank you, Mayor and Board. This is a great opportunity for us to work with the Sheriff's Department. We were approached about, pardon me, about 2 months ago by Captains Wilhelm and Johnson with the Sheriff's Department. They're looking to increase the number of officers that they have assigned to their STAR team. And so they came to us, they're coming to some of the other municipalities to be able to have a couple of officers assigned part-time to that team to be able to train with them. And there's a lot of benefits here for us. It's another kind of career path for our police officers to be able to work on a SWAT team. We're a long ways from having a SWAT team of our own. I mean, many, many years. But with that experience that they get and that training that they get, they'll also be able to bring those things and those tactical advantages back to our police department and help us train better in that regard. You know, they will work out at, have to do a selection process, which will include a very vigorous mile-and-a-half run, all the push-ups and sit-ups and all those fun things. And then the team themselves will choose that person that they want to be on their team. We anticipate having 2 officers that will end up being on that team, and we're going to probably open it up to the officers on the police department that have enough time on and that, you know, are suited for that sort of assignment. I'm excited about it. The guys are excited about it and everything. Not to mention the fact it's great to work with our brothers at the Sheriff's Department. And we've got a really great working relationship with them. This will only increase that.
Chief, I got one question, and then why our attorney's here, I guess got a point of clarification to our counselor as well. I assume, so anytime there's a call out, all that, Kearney would pay for their own officer responding to those events, whether it's in Kearney or not?
Yes, sir. And we
Standard
would also
mutual
pick-
aid agreement type?
Yes.
Okay.
And we would also pick up the overtime that they incur in that regard. There's some expenses for some equipment, but we don't have to have it all right at the same time. And so they'll allow us to kind of go through, and we've already made arrangements that we can withstand that in our upcoming budget as far as
Okay.
anything that they need to get that's additional over what they've already been assigned. Like it's a helmet and some other high-speed stuff.
Okay. Mr. Patrick, the agreement mentions something specifically about having your own insurance and stuff. I assume, obviously, would our insurance we already have cover anything? Will we need to do any special endorsements or anything there?
No, what is stated right now in the contract is the insurance that we already have. It just extends to while they are working in this capacity, which it already would under the extended premises kind of liability for insurance coverage like that. But obviously, after this agreement's executed, we'll reach out to MPR to confirm everything that is already in place, so we don't need to take any additional steps. But it is not common for MPR to not already provide that level of coverage.
Perfect. Thank you both. Any other questions on, okay. If we could read the proposed ordinance on the first reading by title only, please.
An ordinance approving the interlocal cooperation agreement for the Clay County Sheriff's Office Special Tactics and Response Team by and between the City of Kearney, Missouri and the Clay County Sheriff's Office.
Make a motion to approve.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Second reading by title only, please.
An ordinance approving the interlocal cooperation agreement for the Clay County Sheriff's Office Special Tactics and Response Team by and between the City of Kearney, Missouri and the Clay County Sheriff's Office.
Move to approve on second reading.
I'll second.
Pull the board, please.
Alderman Lehman,
Aye.
Alderman Holt,
Aye.
Alderman King.
Aye.
The vote is unanimous and the ordinance is approved. We'll move on to resolutions. The first resolution this evening is a motion approving Resolution 16, 2026, presented by Sunday McKinney, our Deputy City Clerk. A resolution approving the market at the park vendor information permit application, an agreement, and authorizing the execution of the agreements with minor administrative changes as needed. Sunday?
This resolution is to approve the market at the park vendor information permit application and agreement for our rebranded farmers market at Lions Park. This packet pulls together the vendor information application and standard agreement we'll use with all participating vendors. So expectations around fees, hours, setup, operation, and basic legal protections are clear and consistent. The resolution will allow us to move forward with market at the park for the upcoming season and begin formally entering into agreements with interested vendors.
Great. Thank you for that report. Any questions from the board?
So this is
Farmer's market.
farmer's market and an artisan, just like it was up at the school building.
Where are the vendors gonna be lined up at?
Along the parking spots in Lions Park.
Looks like right here.
Yeah, there's a map.
And we also have them on the other side too.
We
Other
are
side
not
of the
planning to
You're gonna
currently,
keep
it just
them all on the
depends
same
on
side?
how many we have interested, yeah,
Is that enough space?
we'll find out. We can put them on the other side if we end up outgrowing that side on the north.
Where's everyone gonna park?
That's a great question.
Eric?
Go ahead, and then I'll answer.
We are hoping that overflow parking would be allowed across the street, since we have the new crosswalk coming soon, right, Shelley?
There's also overflow parking over by the basketball courts, all the way up to the
Here.
house that is on the corner there. All of that is city-owned property from the basketball courts north. And also,
It's not hard surface parking though.
it is not hard surface parking. You are correct.
Does the city own that, up to that house?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, we require everybody else to have hard surface parking, so I'd like us to follow our own rules.
Well, people park there anyway when they go and play basketball. It's not quote, a parking lot, but people park there and we haven't had any objection ever since that land was purchased, for people to park there, go play basketball, or to enter the park from the west side, in between the creek.
Are you concerned about size? I mean, it used up almost the whole parking lot at the old, or education center.
Yeah, we went there many times and it could be two
We could
whole
open up a
rows.
105 lot over here.
How many spots do you think there are, Eric?
Ryan and I actually went out and measured that today, and there's supposed to be 10 by 10 spots, but we put some grace in between it, like a 2-foot gap in between them. And on the first longer area is 125 feet. So if we put 10 stalls in there, that gives about a 2-foot barrier in between the tents. And then it'd be 2.5 feet on both ends. And then the other on the east, on the west side is 66 feet. And that would give us 5 to maybe 6 stalls there. So we're looking 16 stalls.
Do we know how many vendors they have typically at that event?
I can't remember what Stacy had told us. You know, there was just some different things. Sometimes people wouldn't show and so on and so forth. But I think Sunday is when she presented this vendor agreement proposal. We looked at it about letting us know if they're not going to come or something of that nature. This way, there could be a possibility of someone that's on a waiting list as well. But right now, we just discussed on First Street. We don't like to use all of it. One good thing is it's not a Saturday. This would be on a Thursday. And when we have a lot more parties or on the weekends, we do have shelter rentals also during the weekday, but it's not as many as that are on the weekend.
First and foremost, I appreciate staff. This event was at the risk of not coming back to the community, so I appreciate staff looking for a solution to keep our farmers market and artisan fair rolling. My intention is not to micromanage the process, let alone the selection location, but I think I do share some of the same concerns as Alderman King about parking and just the area in general, but that's my only concern I share with it.
Yeah, I get that we're trying to keep it, but also I don't want it to go backwards either. As far as the vendors and not as many vendors and being a hassle and a pain in the butt for them to get a spot, not enough parking. It's on a, what, you said Thursday evening?
4 to 7 p.m. I can tell you on the parking, you know, we state of parking. We don't have parking out of Jesse James Park either for concerts. It's grass parking. Has been since it's been built.
Have we thought about the possibility of closing First Street while this is going on?
We haven't, but it's a great idea, and I think maybe we should figure out how much interest we have in vendors. We're really hoping that we, not competing with Liberty's Farmers Market, that we will have more vendors, especially providing fresh fruits and vegetables to residents, having it on a Thursday evening. Once we are able to release the application and get some numbers and figure out how many people are actually interested, we'll be able to have time. When Sunday is the application period closing?
End of April is the closing, so we'll know.
We'll have a whole
Fairly soon,
month
yeah.
in order to be able to look to see what tweaks, what a great idea to be able to close the road if we had enough people that wanted to participate. I hope we do.
I think I'd rather see us close First Street and leave Second Street,
For parking?
the parking, and the splash pad's gonna be going too, and people at the park. You know, all they gotta do is walk across and they can go to the farmer's market and the park, and the splash pad and everything.
It's all ADA compliant now,
Right.
so they can get from one end to the other
Yeah,
easier than they've ever been able to.
sure. You could put vendors down both sides of First Street. That way, if you've got, you know, hey, great, if we got 30 vendors, you know, we put them down both sides of First Street, leave Second Street open for the parking.
You got that whole gravel area by Shanks too, everyone will park in as well.
Yeah, they will now.
You also have the funeral home over here, people park over funeral
Would
home.
they be allowed to have the vendors lined up along the walkway?
That's how we have it for a few events, where they're on the walkway.
Because they come in the produce and their product is in the back of the pickup. And they'll set up a tent with their tables and vend out of the and we don't want people on the grass driving, hitting the sprinklers, busting sprinklers, and then we've got a real problem.
That's certainly an option if we get a bunch, you know, they just
Yeah,
have
like
to carry the
a vendor
product.
that, yeah, a vendor that doesn't need to
Right,
haul heavy items or whatever.
yeah, that's certainly.
Like I said, I appreciate staff
Oh, I think it's great.
working towards a solution to keep the farmer's market rolling, and I love, it's just looking for a solution to keep it downtown. So, I think there's gonna be some details that will still need to be worked out, but I trust you guys will get that done. So if there are no other questions or concerns, if we can entertain a motion approving resolution 16/2026, a resolution approving the market at the park vendor information permit application agreement and authorizing the execution of the agreements with minor administrative changes as needed.
Make a motion to approve.
I'll second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Resolution is approved. Thank you for everybody's input and conversation there.
Thanks, Eric.
Next item is a motion approving Resolution 17/2026 presented by Cindy McKinney, our Deputy City Clerk. A resolution authorizing a rental agreement between Musco Sports Lighting and the City of Kearney, Missouri to rent a viewing screen for the Cleats and Beats 2026 watch party. Cindy?
This resolution approves an agreement for the rental of a large mobile LED viewing screen for the upcoming Cleats and Beats 2026 watch party. The agreement covers delivery, setup, operation, and removal of the screen, as well as support for video, audio, and internet needs during the event. The screen rental will enhance the Cleats and Beats event experience, contribute to community engagement, and ensure professional and reliable event support.
Any questions on the proposed resolution?
Does that mean I don't have to save my sheets?
Don't have to. Okay.
Is this kind of what other people are doing?
Yes, yes.
Same size screen?
Ours is actually a little bit bigger,
Bigger goal.
1 foot each direction.
If there are no other questions, if we could entertain a motion to approve Resolution 17/2026, a resolution authorizing a rental agreement between Musco Sports Lighting and the City of Kearney, Missouri to rent a viewing screen for the Cleats and Beats 2026 watch party.
So moved.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Resolution is approved. Last resolution for consideration this evening is a motion approving Resolution 18/2026 presented by Shelley Daniel, our Public Works Director. A resolution of the City of Kearney accepting and adopting the comprehensive water and sewer utility rate study prepared by HDR Engineering. Shelley?
Thank you, Mayor and Board. Back on July 7th of last year, the city engaged with HDR Engineering to prepare a comprehensive water and sewer utility rate study. HDR presented the preliminary findings and policy options to the Board of Aldermen at the December 15th meeting, and then presented their final recommendations at the January 20th meeting this year. As part of the public process, the city held a public open house at City Hall on February 3rd with city staff and representatives from HDR Engineering available to answer questions. And a public hearing was held on February 17th at the Board of Aldermen meeting. This resolution accepts and adopts the comprehensive water and sewer utility rate study prepared by HDR Engineering.
Thank you, Shelley. Does anybody have any questions on staff report? I think we're all aware and remember those presentations. If there are no other questions or no items of discussion, if we can entertain a motion approving Resolution 18/2026, a resolution of the City of Kearney accepting and adopting the comprehensive water and sewer utility rate study prepared by HDR Engineering.
Make a motion.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Resolution is approved. We have no items for review and presentation this evening. Under Mayor's Communications, I'll just like to remind everybody to sign up for the Kearney Current, our newsletter. So if you've not done that, a great opportunity to keep updated with the happenings and everything going on inside the community. Also, I believe, Colleen, is there a city calendar that's going to be on there as well?
There's a link to the
a link to the
city
city
calendar
calendar.
that's on the website.
Cool. So a lot of good resources, another opportunity of us trying to be transparent and get information out and make it make it easier rather for our public and constituents to stay updated. So they can sign up on our website. Perfect. So Kearney Current, feel free to sign up for that, please. We'll move on to city administrator's report.
The only thing I have is a reminder that our next board meeting will be on Monday, March 16th at 6:30 PM.
We'll move on to Alderman discussion. Alderman Lehman,
I have nothing.
Alderman Holt.
I just want to, after the events of this past week, I want to thank our police officers for being so diligent, but also it was very apparent this week of how dangerous their job really is. We lost 2 officers earlier this week from a routine, quote-unquote, traffic stop that turned into a gunfight, actually, and we lost 2 officers. This could happen in Kearney as easy as it could happen anywhere else. And so I just want to thank our brave men and women who every day they go out there and you never know when they pull over a car. Thank you.
Alderman Keene.
I just want to say congratulations to the boys and girls wrestling team. Was that 4 straight?
Yeah,
For the
4
girls?
straight for the ladies and the boys got second overall.
Yeah, pretty awesome.
I think Temple, Bell, and Davis won state for the boys, and then Vargas, Williams, I believe in one of the young ladies out that also won first.
Very good.
Yeah, good showing, for sure. All right, we do have an executive session notice up this evening, a closed session per RSMO 610021, subsection 1, for legal actions or litigation involving a public governmental body and any confidential or privileged communications between a public governmental body or its representatives and attorneys, RSMO 610021, subsection 12, to discuss matters pertaining to negotiated contracts, and RSMO 610021, subsection 13, for individually identifiable personnel records, performance ratings, or records pertaining to employees or applicants for employment. And a reminder, this will conclude the open portion of our meeting. Our meeting will be adjourned from the closed session. So if we can consider a motion to enter into executive session.
So negative motion.
I'll second.
Alderman Keene was first, Lehman second. Roll call vote, please.
Alderman Holt.
Aye.
Alderman King.
Aye.
Alderman Lehman.
Aye.
The vote is unanimous and we'll enter into executive session. Everybody have a nice evening. Thank you for being here.